Hello there, I'm Benjamin Baker, also known as EG.DeMusliM, playing for Team Evil Geniuses, and I'm here to present to you some pro tips and tricks. And a lot of the tips and tricks I have are not regular tips and tricks like this is how you should play, this is how you should hold your mouse, this is how you should hold your keyboard, this is what you should look for. This is all about like mental advice, this one particularly, about people who know you, about you who know people. And in the tournament scene, we play against the same players very, very frequently. And we're friends, we're all friends, like outside the game. We know how each other think to a certain extent. And it's just like having friends at work. You know what they excel at, you know what they're weak against. And I took it upon myself to really put that to good use in gaming-wise. And the people that I know their weaknesses, I know their strengths. And I'll try as often as I can to try and play to their weaknesses rather than their strengths. There's no point playing their game, playing completely and they're leading you through it. So this is exactly what I want to talk to you about this game. And this was brought to you by Beyond Gaming. So we'll go right into the game. So initially, I'd like to point out this is Liquid Rep. We have played several times in major tournaments and even little tournaments. We're even practice partners. So this is a game on ladder where we just met each other. And I'll play it in just faster speed since it is a reasonably short game. And yeah, as you can see, we're friends. Just met randomly on the ladder, very good pals. We're even going to be playing in a team tournament soon together. So I was streaming and I didn't realize he was streaming at the same time. So both streaming, both have thousands of viewers watching us. And so this game is pretty important. There's a lot of pride at stake. So this wasn't just a simple ladder game for point. This was a lot of pride. And this game, as I pointed out earlier, this is a lot about like thinking beyond the game. Thinking like, what is this person like? Thinking along those lines. And yeah, I've played Rhett so much. And I know exactly how he plays. So he's telling me he had a dream. We're in the finals of some tournament, he lost to me. So he's already a little nervous with his viewers and stuff. So I'm trying to put some mind game on me, whatever. Anyway, I just played to it a little bit. I'm going to play on my game, not let him discourage me in any way, shape or form. I know that Rhett doesn't like to scout. I know that Rhett is quite a greedy fellow. And I've played him so many times that I know this off by heart. And he knows exactly how I play too. And so I don't really differ when I play Rhett. My style has been working recently against him. And so he'd assume I'd just be playing the same no matter what. We played in practice games a couple of weeks ago, and I played the same style every single game, and it went pretty well. And so if I was him, I'd be thinking, well, this guy, he's got a style that beats me. Well, he's going to keep on doing it. This game, I decide to mix it up. I know he doesn't scout, although he does start scouting with this drone, which I've never seen him do before. Anyway, this barracks is based in a position where it's not even going to block a drone coming in, I'm not even pretending that I'm not going to make a tech lab. I make the tech lab, he sends it right to the middle, so he's going cross-map scout. So he's eliminated this point with this overlord, and he's going straight cross-map. He doesn't assume I'm close. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I don't think that you've actually scouted with your drone. I know this guy's coming in soon, and I'm making a Reaper. So everything's pretty fine at this point. And knowing Rhett, I think he's actually going to pull drones and kill this. But knowing Rhett also, he'd have done this way earlier than he would have done normally. Like he'd have been there as the SCV was coming with the drones, He's a very smart player, very good player. And he's going to be assuming that I probably got a proxy rack somewhere. So let me just point out at this point. These drones don't actually go for this bunker or this SCV at all. They're going off here over to this ramp. When I played with Rhett previously, I'd make barracks here on the map or here on the map, just random placements for this barracks. And I'd send 2 Marines at him and try and place them in this bunker, which actually did a lot of damage. And so this is exactly what he's preparing for. So, and if the Marines were working up here, he'd try and surround them with the drones and do as much damage to them as possible, which is what he's going to be searching for now. He's like, okay, where are these Marines? I'm going to go have them. So this drone scouting me on the last spot. So he's wasting a lot of mining time here. A lot of time being wasted, in fact. He just scout here. He hasn't scouted this tech lab yet. He just knows it's blocked. These drones do start moving back. Production-wise, he's still making drones. So he's got 4 Lings, but I have a Reaper. This is quite pivotal. I do start just killing drones straight away. And at this point, he knows he's in a lot of trouble. And he just GG straight up like that. So I would just like to point out the map for you. This is Rhett's vision. Rhett has not seen that tech lab. It was the last part he scouted. He saw this gas. He knows how I play. He could have assumed that there was a barracks here, which is exactly why these drones came off and started scouting for this Marine that was coming, because it was pretty inevitable in his mind that that's what I was going to be doing. This is the one game in a dozen that I didn't do that strategy, and it really paid off, and I got a really quick win against Rhett. You could say that Rhett left the game way too soon, but he has an SCV, a Reaper in a bunker in his natural mineral line, and he only made drones even, and doesn't have enough Lings to deal with it or anything of the sort. And so he was just very, very frustrated that he placed me on one thing and did completely another. And that sometimes can really, really bite you in the bottom. And so this Pro Tips and Tricks was all about mixing it up. If you're a pro player in the professional scene and you are renowned for a certain style, there is no harm in throwing out something else somewhere along the line. A while ago, roughly a year ago, I was known for being purely a bio player. Medevacs, drops here, there, everywhere, being insanely aggressive. Eventually, that bit me on the bottom, and people just played extremely defensive against me, extremely passive, and I played into their hands. And after the first few months, when it went really, really successful, nobody really knew how to deal with the aggression. People started to learn, and people could immediately prepare for me before the games. And then it dawned on me that I really had to change my style. And that's exactly what I've started doing. If I'm throwing out a curveball here and there, as you say in baseball, it's really going to be good for me. My opponents can't place me on something before the game even starts. If I'm a loose cannon, if I throw out some cheese here and there, if I throw out some different macro play, if I can play different unit choices completely, this is stuff you really want to do and you want to practice. And so this was, for me, a perfect example of playing in, let's say if this was a tournament game, which I've done against Rhett before. I've played a different style to what he's used to. And I've done it against several players. It's really good to have that under your belt and just throw out here and there. While it may not necessarily be something that you resort to every time, it's good to have it in your arsenal, then your opponents cannot play as safe as they really want to. And against any race, that can be taken into account. If you look at a player named Puma, against Protoss, he was very famous for his 1-1-1, but he was also very, very, very adept at playing a fast expand build. So you never really knew what to prepare for against him if you're a Protoss player, which made him one of the scariest TVPs in the world for a long, long time, and still is. So this Pro Tips and Tricks was brought to you by Beyond Gaming, and you can go check them out, beyondgaming.com. And if you'd like to check out myself or my teammates, including Idra, Huck, or Puma, In Control, or EG Machine, you can go check out myeg.net. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope this helped you guys out.